All right, so let's do a bit of a third edition, a third video, just to kind of close it off a bit. I know it seems like I start the videos off with money, and then it's like it's stuff that may not seem like it has anything to do with money. That's what I guess that's the deal. I don't know. But I'll go on. I'll try to make. Well, okay. Let's see what we can dissect from that. So, I mean, there's not really. You know what, man. Sometimes this is our issue, not me, but sometimes people have this issue. The issue is they look back and let's say you look back on the last 10 or 20 years of your life. And you go, man, if I did this, and that, what I did in 20 years, I could have done in 3 years. You know what I mean? If I did this and that, but that's not the way that time is meant to be. You know, that's not reality. You know what I mean? Reality is like where you were and where you are now. That's what it's about. So that's where I was. And by the way, I was very proud of where I was. You know, because in my entire life, I had stuck to certain morals and values and codes that I just didn't break. So I always was very proud of myself. You know, I'll tell you right now, it doesn't matter. You know, there are families and people who don't have a lot of money or whatnot, but they're proud. You know what I mean? They're proud of themselves and whatnot. That's a big deal. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't look at it as wasted time. I mean, I'm not an everybody buddy. You know what I mean? I'm not like everybody. So, you know, if I was in the shadow world, it wasn't gonna be easy for me to come out. I do believe that by nature, that I was born into darkness. You know, that's actually, that expression is from Interview with the Vampire, right? Louis or Brad Pitt, he calls it being born into darkness. The night when he was 24 years old, and Lestat, who was Tom Cruise, gave him a choice, right? He calls it the choice I never had. So, do you want to do you want me to give you eternal life? He goes, yes. And he turns him into a vampire. I mean, mind you, it's quite violent, but he turns him into a vampire, right? And throughout the movie, when Brad Pitt is narrating it, or in certain scenes, he always recalls it as the day or the night that he was born into darkness. You know, by nature, a vampire is not like a human. You know what I mean? He's born into darkness. You know what I mean? That's his nature. Even if he's at level 1, even if he doesn't learn a single thing, that's his nature. Now, I'll be honest with you. The strongest characters and the strongest people are the ones who go through. It's not just about going through adversity. It's about developing on their own. You know, figuring things out on their own. You know what I mean? That kind of proves and to yourself that how strong you are. You know what I mean? Why was I given that situation? Why would I not be given that situation? 31 years later, I'm out of that situation and I'm in a better situation. Why not be in that situation? Why not? You know what I mean? How many years how long is your life? You know, we have a very long life. So 31 years is not that long of a time. You know what I mean? But I went through that and I got to experience something that people experience is being born, being a child. I mean, I could have already experienced everything there was to experience, for example. You know what I mean? But to be born, to be a child, born into darkness or light, whatever, it doesn't matter. Born into darkness, being a child, being in that situation, growing up. You know, I gotta be honest. There are things that I like about what I like about my growing up, and I deserve this. Is that I always made sure that my assignments and my homework and my teachers were happy, and the school was happy. And every now and then, when the parents would go to meet the teacher would tell them. I had one teacher tell the parent that this is the smartest child that I've ever taught, and he had been teaching for 40 years. And he was an old man, and he said, in 40 years of teaching, 4th grade, he said, in 40 years of teaching, this is by far the smartest child that I have ever taught in my whole life. And the mother was quite skeptical about it, like, you know, I don't really agree with it, and like, You know what I mean? He doesn't really have any social life and friends, or he doesn't have a lively life or anything. All he does is sit by himself all day, all night. You know what I mean? He has no friends. He's not even friends with anyone in the household. He doesn't even talk to anyone in the household. He sits there by himself. He watches TV or does his homework, and that's it. You know what I mean? So that was a deal. But I did before look back at it like a sorry ass. When I was doing my time, fuck, man, what was I thinking, man? Like, what was I doing, man? Why? What? You know what I mean? And now when I think back, I go, dude, that earned my stripes. How the hell else am I supposed to earn stripes? If I start off at level 0 as a baby, born into darkness, away from my actual family, in a completely different family, how else was I supposed to, where are you supposed to begin? You know what I mean? Do you begin, do you start, one day decide I'm going to become a race car driver, and you start at the front of the line with the best vehicle, and you're the best? It doesn't work like that, I mean, obviously we always want the best possible circumstances, but it's not always about that, man. That's what I have no regrets, man, when I put it together. I love the fact that I grew up like that, because I was so helpless. I had nobody teaching me, and I was my own teacher, and I had strong values always. I was never a piece of shit or a pig, ever in my life. So I really like the way things happen, man. And where I'm at now, I'm happy where I'm at now. You know what I mean? I feel so strong, I feel stronger than people generically consider strong, or generally consider strong. Oh, that guy's strong. Oh, Al is just like my buddy Tim. Tim is strong. Oh yeah, Tim is just like my buddy John. John is strong. Oh, John is just like my buddy Big Mike. Big Mike is real strong. You know what I mean? I'm like stronger than people like that, man. I got a whole different life going on. You know what I mean? And I love who I am. I love the fact that I'm not your average human being, to be very honest. I'm very happy about that. There's a lot of people who claim that, by the way. And there are people who have certain physical attributes. You know what I mean? I'll be honest. So there are people, for example, who bald right away. You get people who never grow. You have people who are only 4 foot tall their whole lives. What do you think? Do you really believe that a normal two large people will have a midget child, and he's just like a, come on, man? You don't think that there's some genetic difference in him? You don't think he has a family background that even 10,000 years ago midgets existed, or there was a tribe of midgets? Don't you ever think about stuff like that, man? You don't always have to listen to every little thing Darwin says. Darwin didn't even mean everything he said literally. It was all figurative speech. All right, anyways, I'm done. I'm going to post this up. This might be the last video of the night, but, we'll let it be at that.